You're listening to AFL Nation for First Choice Liquor for all your liquor needs.
From Lucendale in South Australia, Darcy Fogarty stands 55 metres out from goal, and he's undaunted. And they come for him as he drives through the first goal of the season and the first goal of what is already a promising career. Little tip kick from Parrish for McGrath. The youngster's on display, bounces it through.
James Stewart from the boundary opens the goal front and slots it. That's a superb kick.
First half highlights for the TAC. Safer roads, save lives. TAC, working towards zero.
Essendon by 3 points at quarter time at Etihad Stadium. Around the grounds for Kubota's autumn catalogue in South Africa. All out for 311, the locals at Wanderers. Elgar Carroty's bat 141 not out. It's the second time in his career, and Pat Cummins had the figures 4 for 78. Danny Frawley, Gary Lyon.
I think missed opportunity from the Adelaide Crows, Spud. I mean, inside 50 count was 17-10 at the moment. They had field position too, which meant they had the ball in their half of the ground. They turned the footy over. This is an unbelievable stat. 19 times, 17 of them happened in their forward half. So that's just wasting opportunity. And I put it down to structure a bit. I know it's old-fashioned. I want more structure from their forwards from an Adelaide point of view, because I think one out, they're dangerous against their opponents. Turn yourself on.
Brendan Goddard is half back, and he's actually paying no respect to the player. I know it looks like he's on McGovern now, but he's not. But he's the guy that's been floating through. He's had 10 possessions, and he's basically playing on his own. If that's the case, Adelaide need to have a look at the stat here. 53 kicks, 56 handballs. Maybe get the ball going forward a little bit longer and dart them in. Make them defend.
Opening bounce of the second term for Tyre Power, your top of the ladder tyre team. Essendon by 3 and going to the Fletcher end of the left as we look at it. Jacobs had half a kick which was smothered. It rebounded to Heppel. His kick was smothered. Saad tried to find a way through and did with a hand pass to Heppel, who gave it backward to Zaharakis, who gave more ground to Hartley, whose kick was smothered by McGovern. It's got to be tidied up. D charges through, did enough. Kept it in dispute and then got it to Zaharakis. He kicks to the broadcast wing and Heppel takes the mark, wheels and goes. He likes the look of Hooker. He reaches out as it comes over his shoulder and takes the mark.
It's his third mark, Hooker. He's looked dangerous. He's marked the ball like a centre forward should too, around 40 to 70 metres out.
Effort after effort from the Dons to set up this opportunity. 45-degree angle to the left. Cale Hooker from 46, no good. That has hit the behind post. No score whatsoever.
Special sound effects there from the delayed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How many times we saw it last night? I continue to say it, Spud. You put 4 posts in front of blokes and they turn into kicking nuffies.
Luke Brown, not sure why you addressed that to Spud, as he kicked it out to half back. There's a free kick for some holding.
13 goals, Hutto.
Yeah.
2 bags of 3.
Just talking about the nuffy part, actually, Spud. Bell Chambers has been given the free.
He's done all right, Bell Chambers, on Jacobs.
Just kicks it laconically into the pocket. And Hooker was in the frame for a moment. Thuday tackled instantly the moment he picked it up. And the umpire eventually calls the whistle on Stewart. We're seeing some vision of Merritt down in the rooms. We'll get to Abbey for the latest on him, for the concussion test. Throw up in the forward pocket. Bombers pressing. Jacobs taps with some conviction. Crouch looked up though, had nowhere to go. Smith put him under the hammer. Brown released with a handball to Laird, just bangs it on the boot. Bell Chambers there again to fly, can't take the mark, but he is impeded and he has earned the free kick.
Again, nowhere to go, Hutto. You called it yourself. Coming out of defence, just no one there.
Lobs to full forward. Danaher, there's a whistle holding. I think it might be Joe's ball.
Yeah, it's silly too, because Jacobs was the loose man. There was no need for it. Talia's been all over Joe as well. We'll have a look on the Chemist Warehouse replay screen.
And Hutto called it too. He said laconically just put it back in. There's not much science to it when they decide to go in. It's just they know they got tall targets. There was a bit of holding both ways there. Joey had a bit of Talia's jumper too.
He threads it through, and the Bombers extend their lead once again at Etihad Stadium. They are 5-2-32, 9 points in advance of Adelaide. 3-5-23. AFL Nation for first choice liquor. And of course that score is courtesy of Big Four, the home of great breaks.
Zach Merritt's down the boundary. I don't know if there's Abby's all over this, whether he's had the test and now he's got to wait the allotted 20 minutes, whatever the case may be. But he looks frustrated. He looks a bit annoyed with the fact that he's not out there.
But the fact of that kick, Gaz, hooker marks the ball. They go long to a forward in the right position in Danaher. I know the free kick was a bit dubious, but it puts any defender under real heat when you get the ball to there.
And we saw Hartley nervously kick and get smothered back here before. That's the sort of pressure that the Essendon defenders aren't feeling right now.
Essendon by 9, AFL Nation for Macca's 24, McNuggets for 9.95. Crouch will win the clearance for the Crows with a hand pass to Gibbs, high inside the 50. Hartley had good position and made the spoil. Sard's hand pass was not much chop. He has to win it back and get it off this time to Begley. He works it around to Hurley, who finds Zaharakis. He tried to put a step on Seaman, was never adequately clear and turned it straight over to Gibbs, who lags the kick to Betts. He missed it as a bit of pressure came front on from Hartley. There was no contact, and then Essendon get a free kick and a reprieve from the pressure. McGovern got all over the top of Hurley.
The kick from Gibbs was genius.
Yeah.
Hartley just put his hands up blindly back to the ball, and that was the reason that Betts wasn't able to mark it.
A picture of indecision eventually. Trust the left boot, lobs it, trying to get the advantage of hooker, but that time Hartigan knew exactly where to be, and he fisted over the boundary line.
Sloane's only had the 5, Gaz. I know the Crouch and Laird are doing their job. Heppel's doing a pretty good job. I don't know whether he's on him the whole time, but hasn't had much impact at this stage, Rory Sloane, so Heppel's doing a really good job.
We'll get to Abbey for Spitwater in a moment for the latest on Merritt. Tap down Bellchambers, though, is sharked by Gibbs. Handball back to Seedsman. High ball going to lob just inside the 50. They jostle for position. Jenkins almost took the mark. Brown all over him. Spinning move was terrific from Hurley to get a handball away. And Stringer also helps out, and they're clear with Zaharakis finding Langford, who wanted to keep going with momentum. But Hartigan put a stop to that. So he's half back, Kyle Langford. Had to go back to the VFL last year to ply his trade as a midfielder. Gets his chance early in season 2018. And he takes full advantage with a nice kick to the presenting Joe Danaher, who off one step kicked the ball. I think he was trying to hit McGrath, missed everyone. And Adelaide there to sweep off half back. Kelly with a handball to the ever-busy Matt Crouch. Short to Laird. The instant give was okay. Atkins, left foot kick. Traverses towards centre half forward with a kick. Over the top, though. Good work from Mitch Brown. Tapped it away to the advantage of Hurley. He gave that advantage straight back, but then tried to redeem himself. More than a match, though, as Douglas stood his ground. Handball up and down at centre half forward. Jenkins holding the ball. Incorrect disposal as you choose. And the free kick is going to Langford for Essendon, who are 5-2-32, leading Adelaide 3-5-23.
Tackling pressure been great. They'd be wrapped with the way they've been able to lay tackles and stop them in their tracks.
Seagulls are low in the stadium with the roof open tonight. Not a bad kick into the middle. Hooker might have marked it. He gets to the business on the ground and wins it. McKenna on the burst. Neat little sidestep. Had a bounce. Kicks to full forward. Stringer favoured by it. Chases. Gathers. Has to shirk the pressure. Missed the hand pass, and the moment passes. He gets back in. Heppel beat him to it. Back to Zaharakis. Standing shot. It's out to the right. Not enough on it. Stewart almost marked. Off hands into the behind post. Throw it in. 32 plays 23. Essendon leading on the Big Four Holiday Park scoreboard.
The thing I've liked about the Essendon forwards, Gaz, they haven't flown together once. It's Danaher deep, and he leads up, and then Cramley goes back, and then there's Hooker. So they're really keeping some separation, those three tools. Stewart, sorry.
He worked his way to the front, but Jacobs too tall. Got the tap down decisively. Matt Crouch, another disposal. This one goes wandering around half back, and it's out of bounds.
And Hutto, you asked who's winning, and the scoreboard's still tight enough. But Essendon have got a bit of ascendancy now, and I think it's as simple as that. They look far more dangerous when they go inside 50. That's the only difference between the two at the minute.
Bellchambers and Jacobs eventually engage as they throw it in again. Bellchambers out the back, looked as though he meant it, got it to Zaharakis. McKenna had a target on him as the handball was a little too uppish. Now Bryce Gibbs got it from Sloane. He missed Seedsman by a mile, and Heppel sensed an opportunity. Seedsman good enough though to tidy up the situation. Now it's up for grabs on the 50. Smith tried to Fossick for it through. Brown was there for the Crows, and they batter away trying to get it clear, but there's no way out. It's a ball up.
I know the forwards have got their structures, but your point before, Gaz, whoever's on Mitch Brown, walking back and reset as quick as you possibly can north of 30, because he isn't quick. He reads the play well, but isolate him deep.
Essendon by 9 up at the 50. Jacobs wins a tap down to Crouch. Hand pass smothered by Stringer. Kick by Smith out towards the behind post. It runs away and will be thrown in. Abby Holmes down on the boundary for Spitwater high pressure clearance.
Yeah, Jared, a very disappointed and upset Zach Merritt on the bench with his head in hands. Doctors are still currently reviewing that footage, but interestingly, Merritt was also concussed in JLT1 versus Richmond, so I assume they will certainly take a cautious approach with getting him back out there.
Essendon deep forward. Stringer sharked it from the throw in. He wobbled it up towards the teeth of goal, and Kelly saw it through for a rushed behind. The Dons by 10 on the Big Four Holiday Park scoreboard.
That's an issue for Merritt, isn't it? I mean, they're far less likely to take, well, not that they take a risk, but there's any doubt given he was knocked out a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think he had another one at training as well from memory a couple of months ago. So we'll follow that up as Kelly found himself a victim. Thought the marker was going to be paid. Now the umpire says his leg. So he'll get out of jail for the Adelaide Crows.
Duday, I think.
Yeah, Duday's now got it. And he's going to send it up along the wing. Sloan waits down. It might get there with the spoil from Brown. Up for grabs. Merritt watching on, of course, McGrath. Slick hands to Zaharakis. Kicks it to centre half with all pitches. Danaher's able to get it. It opened up for him. And then he sprayed. It was a huge opportunity.
Leg break.
And it went scuttling away over the boundary line and out of bounds. Those birds are all over. Very distracting here. Look at this kick.
It's a shinner.
Well, he adjusted his boot.
It's quite extraordinary. It's a long way down, I guess, in defence of Joe, from hand to foot.
Deep forward for Essendon at the throw-in. Knocked down underfoot. Neat little hand pass from Smith out to McDonald. Tippenwoody off to Hooker, who dragged it near side through for a behind. Essendon leads by 11. We can confirm that Richard Douglas has been reported for the bump on Zach Merritt.
Essendon's turns to dominate inside 50s this quarter, 6-3 in their favour.
Back with the business of Adelaide, bringing it back into play. Laird marking, trotting into the back pocket. Kick up along the wing. Eddie Betts is coming with a big lead. Couldn't drag it down. Bellchambers kept his feet, and the benefits of that is a clean handball to Langford, who links up with Hartley, and then the ever-busy Zaharakis. On the logo on the wing on the dockside. Goes to Heppel, good spot. And he takes the mark. The skipper turns on the left instantly. High ball to full forward. Perfectly set for Hooker. And there was no way they were going to stop him that time. But it was a free kick.
Well, it's disappointing there's a free kick against, but the fact is they just look dangerous. They can go to Danaher, they can go to Stewart, Hooker.
Against Joe, I think.
Yeah, on Charlie, no, he did grab his jump up. You're right, though, but they look super dangerous going north to 30 with their tools.
And Eddie Betts now has gone and positioned himself deep inside, or inside 51 out. I like that.
McGovern couldn't quite take the mark. He was able to clean it up for the Bombers. They work it back by Heppel to Hurley. Forced back some more, and he turns, and now, well, he did advance the cause by metres, but not overall. Crouch takes the pretty comfortable mark, brings it into Greenwood. Been pretty quiet so far. Laird kept on running, received and drives it low, and finds Murphy at half forward. Looks to turn, shuffles the left foot kick out wide to Seedsman, just beyond him.
Yeah, and again, you know, you got Betts one out in the square, you got Jenkins one out against a relatively inexperienced player, and they go wide.
To Kelly, who kicks it to the square, and Jenkins will mark this. Was there interference? No, there wasn't.
And guess what? He got 5 metres on McGrath in 12 metres.
But I like the matchups for the Adelaide forwards. They just haven't had a chance to ply their trade.
And you'd have a look at the Chemist Warehouse replay screen. He gets 5 metres on him. There was no blockage there. They said it was blocked, but that was after Jenkins marked the ball.
Some other issues that need to be addressed in the box here at half-time. Hopefully Gary won't bag anyone who drops an easy mark tonight. Here's the kick from Jenkins. Should convert. He does. Straight through for his second. And Adelaide inch back. And another tight game to start the season. That's apparent at this stage. Essendon 5-4-34. Adelaide 4-5-29. AFL Nation for first choice liquor.
I know there is system in footy today, but it frustrates the hell out of me that the mind game of dominating your opponent is not more exposed more often. And right now, where do you reckon Hartley wants to play? Hartley doesn't want to be the last defender against one of these blokes, nor does Mitch Brown, and whoever's on Eddie Betts doesn't want anywhere near the goals. And what they've done in this first quarter and a half, they've vacated that area, and the Essendon defenders have gone, thank God for that.
Gary Lyon and Danny Frawley are experts for Red Energy, 100% Australian. Bill Chambers wins the tap in the middle. It's hard to win underfoot. Ellis Yorman measures out a hand pass to Sloan, who kicks across to half forward, but Brown read it well.
The other thing is Jenkins looks like they're dangerous forward, and he goes straight into the ruck. So I'm a defender. I'm thinking, thank God for that.
Essendon by 5 as Brown kicks it wide to Hurley. He's clear at the defensive 50. All he's got is the long down the line in the hooker direction. Got hands to it, couldn't mark. Green took the crumb, puts it high to the advantage of Danaher. Talia closes, gets a fist in there. It falls out the back. Talia stays in the play, gets it back from McKay, but was happy to see it out of bounds. Over at Essendon's attacking 50.
Pensive look from both coaches at this early stage. Mid-term of the second quarter, 34-29. In Essendon's favour. Ball at half forward as Jenkins doing the ruck work, flipped it out the back. Langford was over to intercept with a handball, but Betts pounced, handball to Sloan. His kick came ricocheted off the back of McGrath, so it's up for grabs again. Greenwood parried it away. They searched for it. Eventually someone was able to find it. That was someone was Jenkins. His kick was smothered, wiped out straight away. Hurry kicks Zaharakis, but there's a whistle before that. And the free kick is going Adelaide's way to Rory Sloan.
Coming up for his 8th possession, but again Spud hasn't had any great say, and Langford's been running with him as well. Parrish has had some time on him, Heppel's had some time on him, so it's been a combined effort.
He switches to Hardigan under instruction, and they're going to come over to the dock side. A bit of a medium kick for Talia. He just got worried out of it by McKenna. Begley was there, went through Danaher's fingers. Oh, look at the handball from Stringer. I think the Globetrotters are touring soon. Danaher's got the wrong boots on tonight as he tugs that one to the right, out on the full.
Conor McKenna had a little chat to Danaher too.
Joey would be in the Globetrotters, you just wouldn't want him shooting.
No. Conor McKenna probably should have got the handball after looking at the Chemist Warehouse replay screen.
Margin stays 5 points. Brown long on the restart. Ball came the way of McGrath, though. He hand passed to Hartley. Essendon back inside the 50. Big pack. Ball slews to the back of it. Seedsman taken to ground by McKenna. Seedsman regained his footing. Got caught by Hooker. Had to be holding the ball. Umpire said he got a hand pass away. I didn't see it. Stringer works over the footy. Sloan comes in to tie him up. They'll ball it up 45 from the Essendon goal.
Come on, He had all the day time in the world. He got tackled to the ground, jumped back up, got tackled again, and they still didn't pay it.
You don't see many survive that many efforts.
Come on,
irate. Toss it up. Stringer's the designated ruckman. Easily done by Jenkins, who placed it down to Gibbs, who wasted it. Kicked it straight to Heppel at half forward.
And the Bomber skipper glances into the 50. There's just take your chances. Everyone's got one. They run. Sloan flew. Looked the most likely. Hits the ground. Langford backed out of there beautifully. Gave it to Parrish. Slapped it on the boot, but just gave it too much on the curling kick. And it's the wrong side. Essendon 5-5-35. Adelaide 4-5-29. And that is on the Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard.
I know that Jenkins has to give Jacobs a spell, but there must be someone else who can run for 4 or 5 minutes, because Jenkins, to me, they've lost all structure now. They've got no one with any height at all.
McKay, not much doing on the kick in. He kicked it long, and Goddard floated in and took the mark, and they're wide open inside the 50, right onto the chest of McGrath.
Now, the value of a bloke that can kick, that can see it and then kick it. And he goes short, McGrath again, and Green marks about 30 metres out on a slight angle. So that's why Goddard plays behind the footy, and I think, you know, opposition side, Spud, will look at this and say, nah, we don't care that he's 30 odd and he, you know, 1 by 1 year contracts and all that sort of stuff. He's a beautiful disposer.
He went at a goal a game last year, Josh Green. It's a simple enough set shot. Right foot drop punt. He stabbed it and missed it from 30. And the errant kicking in this term is proving costly for Essendon, who've had it down there nearly the whole time. They lead by 7 with 17 minutes gone on the Big 4 Holiday Parks scoreboard.
Well, this quarter, it's flipped on its head, the Simmons home stats. Essendon have been in 12 times for 1 goal. Adelaide 4 for 1.
I think we've got an answer on Zach Merritt. We'll get down to Abby. in just a moment as Jacobs takes the free kick, kicks it to Cam Ellis-Yeoman. Tries to muscle his way past, but in all his haste, he missed the running target going past, and that was Crouch. McKenna tries, he's done just to win it for the Bombers. Got help from Goddard, it was rugby stuff. They got it over the try line and out of bounds. And that was enough to satisfy the Bomber fans. What can you see down there, Abby?
Yeah, guys, this stoppage is about to happen right in front of a very disappointed Zach Merritt. Jacket on at the back of the bench. So bad news for Don's fans. He's not. He's done.
That's for Spitwater. Tools, not toys. Spitwater. That's what it does.
Hold on, Abby.
Throw in. Jacobs gets the tap down. Cam Ellis-Yeoman. A casual handball. Smith saw it coming. Won it. Kicked it. There's 3 Crows versus 2 Bombers. Laird uses the numbers to his advantage. A handball, then a kick from McKay. Marked steadily by Jacobs. Gets the call from Gibbs. He can bound along the dock wing. Uncertain, but he calls Eddie. Tells him where to go. Eddie obliges, then promptly drops the mark. Shard wearing him closely. Eddie spinning once. Eddie spinning twice. Eddie caught. Ball comes loose. Fogarty takes his turn to tackle. McDonald, Tip and Woody. And in the end, it's a neutral ball, and a ball up eventuates.
If you're looking for the DNA of Adelaide, part of that DNA, a massive part, is Eddie exciting inside 50. And that's where it was. That's where he went. For the first time, we got a little bit of that.
Jacobs wins the tap. Gibbs was manhandling an opponent, got away with it. Betts is in the pocket. He can just see enough to take a shot, but he is on the outside all the way through for a behind. They're down by a goal. The inside 50s this term, 12-5 Essendon's way. The stats for Simmons Holmes since 1949.
D to kick in. Gives it plenty to the City side. Danaher's in the frame up against Talia. He's a hard man to beat, Daniel Talia. Gets help from Duday. Gives it back to Talia. Hammers it towards full forward. Fogarty over the top of the pack. Play on the call. Spinning that time was McGovern. Charging through Greenwood. Determined play. Kick to no real effect. Hurley had it. Oh, look at Betts. He's scampering after it. He's always a threat. And the ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds in the pocket.
Even then, you kick the 30-metre out, you got positional play. Fogarty came out, crashed the pack. You got a drop of the ball in a dangerous spot. Better structure these last 3 or 4 minutes.
Essendon by 6, but they're defending here. From the throw-in, Jacobs got the tap down. Brown read it well, though, for Essendon. Off to Smith. He just blasts it back to the wing and hopes for the best. Stringer hopelessly outnumbered. Did pretty well to break even and then put a tackle on Kelly. And the tide could turn if he can win it back. Is it delivered against McKay?
Well,
The pleas go unheard by the umpire. And some of the Bomber fans are on their feet. They're going to summon a vent. And why not?
It's a great effort by Stringer. He won't get a stat, but he halved the contest. 2 against 1 as you call. Got a ball out of bounds. That's all they want. That's good enough.
Time on to the second term AFL Nation for Macca's 24 McNuggets for $9.95. Gibbs gets it at the stoppage, brings it up near centre wing, but it's a loose hand pass intercepted by McGrath. He works it around to Smith and then to D and backwards to Heppel as Essendon plot the course. Into the middle it goes for Danaher. He slipped the hand pass to McGrath again, couldn't find the way. Back to Heppel, who spreads in the Goddard direction. Beautifully weighted kick.
Curtly Hampton's his opponent, Spud, and he's a talented young, well, not so young these days, but he's just getting lost. He doesn't know how to play it at the moment.
Well, he had a chance to body Goddard up about 50 metres before where he marked it. He just allowed him, he looked at the ball for a minute and allowed Goddard to get goal side. Body him up, then have a look.
He doesn't kick goals out of turn anymore, Brendan Goddard. He's angled to the left and he's 50 metres from goal. He has thumped this one at the right-hand post and it just won't feed back. It is through for a behind. Essendon by 7.
Nice kick in. Crouch marks it and then looks around to determine where to go to next. Kelly followed up from the kick in and gave him the shortest of options. The umpire, unimpressed, says it's play on anyway. Gives it to Laird by hand and then to Jacobs. Always dangerous, but the ruckman thought through it well. To Greenwood and Laird. This is a better build-up by the Crows. A driving ball to half forward. A chance to take the mark was Douglas, but the Irishman McKenna got there and did enough, and it's over the boundary line, and that pleases the Essendon fans some more.
And the boos for Richie Douglas, who executed the bump on Zach Merritt. Zach Merritt just repeating out for the rest of the game with what we think is a concussion, a head knock.
Margin is 7. Essendon had that favour. Half forward though. Adelaide looking to attack. Parrish slaps it away from the throw in to Heppel. And the instant handball by Zaharakis, just what was needed. A high up and under kick from Devon Smith might still be profitable as the ball gets out the back. Yes, it will be. The handball inside from Langford, and Parrish kept on running. Driving kick, sits 40 metres out from goal. Stewart stretches out for it. Matched by Duday. Duday collected. Oh, I thought he threw it. He got it moving anyway. Down the middle of the ground, McKay, Gibbs, and now they're on the burst, the Crows.
He works the hand pass to Sloan, forward to the ball, who can link it up with Fogarty, who can spread it out now to Hampton, who can glide at the 50 and chip it terribly short to Douglas. It's not 15. Douglas has got to go. He was confronted. He unloaded across the face of goal, and they get nothing for it either, other than a behind. And so it stays Essendon by 6 points. The scoreboard for Big Four, the home of great breaks.
Curtly Hampton and Ellis Yeoman are players that look like they've had JLT games where there's not that pressure on, so they're confident to go at it. They get to a game for 4 points and they stop playing.
That's that overuse again.
It's really
extra short possessions.
It was stage fright there, though, wasn't it? He just thought, oh, better lay it off. Zaharakis from the back pocket, up along that city wing. Laird there to intervene once it hit the ground. The Crows will try again. Fogarty didn't go for it because he had his teammate Josh Jenkins well placed, and he's taken the mark.
Well, Don Pike needs to go to his forward line coach and say, forget all the contested ball, hard handball gets, loose ball gets. Let's get Brown deep, and let's get either Jenkins or McGovern
the
on
forward
him.
line coach, forget vacating the forward line when the ball leaves your area.
Josh Jenkins took the mark, and now he has the footy spinning around in his hands. Already 2 goals to his name. A little shuffle, and from 30 metres out, as good as directly in front. Big regret there as he misses that to the left. That would have levelled the scores. Instead, it's a hook, and it's 4-8-32 to 5-7-37. And that is on the Big Four scoreboard, the home of great breaks.
It's a bad miss. Because it's just what it does, it inflates his psyche and just really deflates Brown.
Brown marks the kick in, clears the defensive area. Talia saw it coming and he glides in and wins it back for the Crows at left half forward. It's been a pretty stinky quarter, really. A goal apiece in it. Kick up to half forward for Jenkins. 50s. He wheels and goes. He kicks for Fogarty. One-on-one with Hurley. Hurley moved Fogarty away from it. Loose in the square. Murphy got a boot to it. I think
it's a goal.
This will all be checked.
Yeah, it's going to be checked.
Going upstairs.
It's a goal.
Lachlan Murphy looks to have kicked his first goal in AFL footy.
This is awkward, Jared.
We haven't heard our mate.
We're going to check this for Drinkwise. Great footy moment.
All the Adelaide players have run from everywhere because he's a first gamer and this could be his first, and they're on hold.
Let's check this one, please.
Did he keep it under the hands of McKenna? That's what's being checked.
I've still got a couple. Sorry, fellas.
Oh, no, the finger.
It's touched his pinky.
There's a finger on that. He's not out.
It's going to come back as a behind.
We have special access, Jared, that you probably didn't have at your old one.
It's like the third umpire in South Africa. Yeah. Just rock and roll that.
Still needs a fundamental.
Come on, Ray, get on it.
This will be a behind. So the Chemist Warehouse, home of real brands and real savings. That was the replay we were watching, but the score review was for Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you Drinkwise, and it's a behind, which leaves the score at 4 points to him.
He didn't miss a trick, Jared. Brown won the ball and kicked it back inside 50 for Adelaide, and that put McKenna under extreme pressure. Greenwood ramped it up some more. They scuffle and hustle for the ball. The Bombers defence did well. A handball from Brown, got it to Hurley, and now Sard up towards halfback. Danaher was there, Laird's everywhere. Taps it back, scurries after it again. Sloan lends a hand, out the Crouch. It's the usual firm for the Adelaide Crows. And now Gibbs is part of the band of midfielders. Receives and drives deep. Jenkins has a chance again. It carried to the back of the pack. Ellis Yeoman on the charge. And now Fogarty. And he is escorted over the line by Sard.
Hurley gone to Jenkins, so they've identified that he was too much of a handful, so their best defender goes and locks down.
AFL Nation for Macca's 24 McNuggets for $9.95.
They've had the last 5 inside 50s, the Crows.
But that's a good win, guys. Even more so to play Jenkins deep now and take Hurley out of that intercepting situation that he loves.
Crows looking for the go-ahead goal. Gibbs over the footy. He's edged away from it. Heppel with a hand pass to Sard. Knocked off by Ellis Yeoman. He was edged off his kick. The pack forms. The umpire says there's a high tackle on Parrish, and it'll be an Essendon free kick at fullback. A minute and a half left in this second term. A goal apiece in it. Parrish long on the kick. Flying was Danaher. Hooker was up with him. McGrath plays Crummer. Works the hand pass to Smith and gets it back. Up the line comes McGrath to Heppel. Defensive side of the middle. Danaher breaks on the 45. The kick is perfect for him. He marks, chooses not to play on. Wheels onto the left. McDonald Tippenwoody is caught behind, but the kick was perfect for him. It carried Brown, and McDonald Tippenwoody just hauled it in.
Well, the fact that Joey Danaher just got that big left foot weapon, Jared, and punched it, it was the speed with which it came that did the defender in this instance, because I can't say it was a perfectly weighted kick. Well, the more weight than it was in flight.
McDonald Tippenwoody to end the rot. No, he can't either. He snapped it across the face of goal and through for a behind. Essendon by 5.
Well, they haven't improved goal kicking over the summer, that's for sure.
No, what are it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 behinds in a row in the game.
Yeah.
AFL Nation for first choice liquor. Narrowing in on half-time. McKay marked the kick in for Adelaide. Goes long down the wing. Bell Chambers a telling fist down near Heppel. Neat little touch from Duday, who got it up to Hampton, who didn't do anything with it. It's knocked away from Douglas. It's out of play at the interchange games.
Yeah, and Eddie Betts and Jenkins, who are deep with their men, are saying to Kirtley Hampton, don't do the fancy little 3-foot kick. Put your boot into it and give us a chance.
Gary Lyon for Red Energy, 100% Australian.
Me or Red Energy?
38 plays 33. Knocked down to Crouch. Crouch on the wing. Kick falls the way of Goddard, who sets it to centre half forward. Langford made the contest against Laird, who harries him the whole way. They go to ground together. Plucked out of there by Begley for the Dons. Kicks to full forward. Off a toe. Came the way of McGrath. Hand pass intercepted by McKay. And the moment passed right on the bell of half-time. 1 goal, 6 Essendon for the term, 1 goal, 4 Adelaide.
Oh, not one for the library.
No. 5-8-38 Essendon at half-time lead Adelaide 4-9-33. The goal kickers Stewart with 2, 1 each to McGrath, Bell Chambers and Danaher. For the Crows, 2 for Jenkins, 1 for Hampton, 1 for Fogarty. In the cricket at Cape Town, South Africa all out for 311. Australia a solid start, none for 32. Warner is 20, Bancroft 11. That's around the grounds for Kubota's autumn catalogue. AFL Nation for first choice liquor. At half-time, it's Essendon by 5 points.
That quarter of AFL Nation was for Big 4 Holiday Parks. Big 4, the home of great breaks.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Macca's 24 McNuggets for $9.95.
Optimal for Danaher. There's a whistle holding. I think it might be Joe's ball.
Silly too, because Jacobs was the loose man. There's no need for it. Tarley has been all over Joe as well.
There's a bit of holding both ways there.
He threads it through, and the Bombers extend their lead once again at Etihad Stadium. Here's the kick from Jenkins. Should convert, he does. Straight through for his second, and Adelaide is back. Another tight game to start the season.
First half highlights for the TAC. Safer roads, save lives. TAC, working towards zero.
The first half highlights there for the TAC, working towards zero. Essendon led at quarter time by 3 points. They lead at the half by 5. 5 goals, 8-38 to Adelaide, 4-9-33. Time, well, let's get into the Choices Flooring half-time floor show.
The Choices Flooring halftime floor show. For Choices Flooring, the floor you've been searching for.
For Choices Flooring's inspiring choices, Gerard Whateley and Gary Lyon in place. High on toil, low on highlights, Gaz.
Yeah, hard going for the calling team. It was. In fact, both sides had opportunities. I think in the first quarter, Adelaide certainly with their dominance, particularly from an inside 50 point of view, and they just were really messy. Their turnovers, 17 to 19 times they turned the ball over, was in their forward half in the first quarter. That's just waste. That's a wasteful quarter footy, and as a result of that, they found themselves, only 3 points down in actual fact at quarter time, and then it sort of turned it on its head. Essendon had more of the inside 50 dominance, and it wasn't until the last 5 minutes or so when Adelaide reverted. Well, I call it reclaiming your territory, and I've got this, you'll probably be sick of this by the end of the year, but an old forward mentality that says, hey, this is my space, this is what I'm paid to do. Don't ask me to go running up and defend 120 metres away from goal. It really annoys me. I know it's modern footy. I don't agree with it. Jenkins reclaimed his territory late in that second quarter, and then Eddie Betts said to himself, well, I'm doing nothing when I get sucked up the ground. I'll go back as well. And all of a sudden, I called it the DNA of Adelaide. I saw it again. It was Jenkins. It was Betts doing a few dangerous things. Now McGovern's got to, I think, reclaim his territory as well. If they do that, they're a chance, Adelaide, because apart from Hurley, Brown, who's been okay, by the way, but he and Hartley at times will be a bit susceptible and a bit vulnerable. And you need, Jared, you need those boys there, because then ball gets directed there, and that's where Betts can be at his very best, front and square, crumbing footy. So I think structurally there's a couple of things that both sides could do, but more particularly Adelaide.
The stats update for Simmons Homes, building homes since 1949. Individually, Heppel's had 20, Zaharakis 18, Hurley, McGrath and Smith have had 16 each for the Dons. For Adelaide, Crouch has had 22, Laird 20 and Gibbs 18. In the overall, does anything jump off the page to you?
No, because I think it evened up. I think it was pretty one-sided at quarter time. The inside 50 count now is 26 to 28. It was much more lopsided, I think 10 to 17 in actual fact at quarter time. So all that stat sheet tells me is that both sides have had opportunity, and for it to be 5-8 to 4-9 is a reflection on what's been a pretty dour contest.
The inside 50 is running 28-26 Adelaide's way, but yeah, there's not a discrepancy really down the page. The player of the day for self-wealth, invest with confidence. I'd say Daniel Talia's had a pretty good hold on Joe Danaher for the most part.
Yeah, isn't it a wonderful privilege to have for a match committee to be able to say, rightio, let's put our team together, and who's the most dangerous forward? Yep, well, there goes Talia. And then they don't have to think about it for the rest of the night, Jared. I reckon that's a great thing, and he is a super player. I'm a huge fan of his. So he would be right in contention. I asked about Dyson Heppel pre-game. I reckon he's played with purpose. I don't know whether it can be self-fulfilling, these things, when you say it, but he looks sharper and looked a lot brighter. So I've been happy with him. He's had his turn on Rory Sloane and kept him pretty much in check as well. Crouch is prolific. He's the leading possession winner on the ground with 22 and uses it pretty well. So no out-and-out standout, because it's been, as I said, a pretty low-key affair really, but you're right, I think it is Taylor at this stage.
The rookie of the day for MEGT, your local apprenticeship experts. Need an apprentice or trainee? You need MEGT. So he hasn't starred, but he's just had a moment, Darcy Fogarty, who we all came here to see, and he gave us something early with a raking goal.
Yeah, and I used the term commanding his area. The greatest commander of a forward line in my time was Wayne Carey. He just said, right, eat, and everyone respected it, and I'm pretty sure they're going to come to respect this kid pretty quickly too. He's a victim of the way they play, though. I mean, once he kicks the first goal, my mindset is, right, let's give him a chance. Yeah. He might just catch fire here and kick 2 or 3, but no, he had to leave the area like everyone else and run away. So I'd like him to get that opportunity. The other debutants for Murphy, who's had a couple of little moments, only a little fella, but he looks lively, and Duday, who has been okay across half-back, took one really courageous intercept mark, which I think is a sign of things to come. And from an Essendon point of view, they haven't got any young players, but I reckon Langford's one that they would be pretty satisfied with. He's got always look at number jumpers, and they've handed him the 4, so they think he's going to be around for a while. He's bided his time at VFL level in the middle, and I just think he's been pretty good tonight.
And around the grounds for Kubota's autumn catalogue, Dave Warner has had the off stump removed again by Kahiso Rabada. He was 30 at the time, so Australia 1 for 44 after South Africa was all out for 311. Around the grounds for Kubota's autumn catalogue. We'll keep tabs there.
You're sure that Davey didn't whack him over there with a bat, and he didn't pick a stump up and spear him through the gut?
I'm more interested in is what happened after he rocked the off stump.
Exactly right.
In which direction did Kahiso Rabada run? We'll bring back Danny Frawley and Anthony Hudson in a moment. It is half-time at Etihad Stadium. Essendon leading 5-8-38 to Adelaide 4-9-33.